Welcome all. We're here at the Miami Valley Veterans Museum. This is their new location. And here we are. We're going to take a quick tour of the location and we're going to upload this for everybody to see. So here we go as we start walking towards the building as you enter. This part of the building here is theirs. The main facility. And another storage building for them. So here we go as we walk down too. As we're walking up, you're going to see the address is 2245 South County Road 25A in Troy, Ohio. All right, here we go.
Hello everybody and welcome to the brand new site of the Miami Valley Veterans Museum. Here with me today is the director, Karen Pert. Karen is going to give us a tour of the new site and what the plan is and all that. Take it away, Karen.
Okay, well, if you'll come up here, I'm going to give you a little example here of what we've got related to our floor plan. Basically, the space that we're in right now is the main building of the Veterans Museum. The future concept is right here in this floor plan right here. And what with the coronavirus, we decided to not wait until we had raised all of our money because the virus has affected our fundraising just like everybody else's in the nonprofit world. And so we decided to go ahead and renovate the front area here so that we would have room for our museum. Our building had been sold, and
So your old building has been sold?
our old building has been sold. We're in the process of packing up our collection right now.
How big of a collection you have?
We have over 20,000 artifacts in
Wow.
our collection. Yes,
Wow.
we do. And we occupy a 5,000 square foot space that
Mhm.
includes a dining room, all the rooms that we have our collection in, as well as a little bit of downstairs storage. This front area here of the museum, which was at one time a car dealership, which was the showroom, is a little under 5,000 square feet. So that's where we're moving our museum into.
So you're saying this area is 5,000 square feet?
Just a little under.
All right. And so the other spaces we're going to see is even more, right?
Right.
So it's going to give you
exactly.
plenty more room.
A lot of room to grow into.
Right.
And
How'd you come about to get to this place?
well, I looked for, we all looked actively, but I was really out searching. I'm gonna have to turn that off. I'm sorry, I don't know why it went off. Sorry. Hang on. 1221.
Got a little alarm going off. It's okay, we'll continue on.
Sorry about
It's
that.
good that we have a security system here.
Yes, we do.
Fantastic.
Excuse me.
All right, so we were talking about how we actually got this place.
Okay, so I started searching, looking for places, and I noticed this place was for lease, but it wasn't for sale. I knew the owner, Ron Irwin, who owns a car dealership here in Troy, and this is, in fact, was his former car dealership location. And I talked to him, told him what we were looking for, and the more I started looking at the site, looking at the sizes of the buildings that were here, I got very interested. The thing that really attracted my attention was there was so much space, it was all handicapped accessible, which is exactly what we needed, as well as the fact that the site really gave us the possibility of revenue generation, which is paramount if you're a nonprofit. You have to continue to have revenue in order to survive. So we have two barns on the property that are 140 by 40 feet each, two steel barns. We have this building, which is 93 feet by 140 feet, okay? And then we have a smaller building that is approximately 80 by 40. The idea was that we would utilize the main building for our museum and then utilize the barns for revenue generation.
You're going to show us those barns, right?
I'm going to, and
Woo-hoo.
we'll talk more about that.
Right.
But that was really the catalyst to kind of saying, okay, this makes sense. This site has enough room that if we want to do special events, we can do that. There's lots of parking. We're on one of the most well-traveled roads in the
Mhm,
county.
mhm.
We're right off 75, and of course, going to talk to Ron Irwin, he was really excited about it. He was a big supporter from the very start and has continued to be a fantastic partner in this.
And it's a land lease deal, right?
Yes, we're doing a land contract with
Right.
him.
And you've already paid him a little bit?
Yep, we
Good.
came up with a down payment to put the land contract into place with a lot of donations and also a major contribution from the Troy Foundation here in town.
And the Troy Foundation is helping you
Yes.
collect this money. Actually, that's where the money's going if
Right.
people donate, right?
We have a special fund, a
Excellent.
capital campaign fund. They take care of processing it for us, sending out thank you notes. It's wonderful. They've been great partners with the Veterans Museum ever since our inception. In 2010, when we moved into, 2009, when we moved into the building downtown that we're moving from now, they gave us a nice grant to get things started, to renovate then.
Awesome.
And they've been partners right along.
Right.
They've been wonderful.
And this is ideal because it's a showroom now. That's what it was
Right.
For cars, and now it's
Right.
going to be a showroom for military stuff. That's fantastic.
Okay.
And I see this picture here. This is actually the goal here, right?
Correct.
To have it looked up like this. And you got that tank ordered yet?
Not yet, but we're working on that actually.
All right. Well, let's go check out the rest of the area here and tell us about it.
All right.
Tell us what the plan is.
Okay.
So this is going to be the basic first showroom that people come in, right?
Right.
Well, what's going to be over here?
Over here, we're going to have a multimedia room and library. In that multimedia room, we'll have the capability of doing veterans interviews. Right now, in our collection, we have about 250 veterans interviews that people can come in, listen to the interviews, and our plan is to utilize those interviews and engage high school and college students to really get to know veterans and who they are, how they contributed through their community after they came back from their service. A lot of people don't understand that veterans serve in the military, but they continue to serve all their lives. And if you look at a lot of the pivotal people in most communities,
Never stop serving.
many of them are veterans. And that's important for people to understand. So we'll have the recording studio, our collection will be in here. This will be museum space here. We've got offices down on the other end of this space here and a small little kitchenette. But like I said, this is kind of temporary right here. Eventually, this will be reconfigured into other things that are in our dream plan. I know that you're going to go ahead and do a close-up of our floor plan. And if you'd like, I can.
Right, we'll have a picture of that
Okay.
and the other stuff.
All right.
Let's go on moving through here.
Okay.
But I particularly am very happy that you're having you're integrating digital with this because as you know, buildings change, artifacts change, they move,
Right.
they sell, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But digital's forever.
Oh, yes, yes.
So we're going into the meat of it here.
Right, now, what you saw in the main part there that we were just in has been cleaned up and has been painted and it's still in process. But this space here is pretty rough right now.
Right.
This has been rented for, it was a rental space for about 20 years, had a few different tenants. And so we have a lot of cleanup, a lot of painting to do, but the potential is awesome.
But the
So-
garage doors are a plus, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
You can bring in tracked vehicles and Bradleys and all kinds of whole stuff, right?
That's one of the things we're working on, actually.
Fantastic.
A lot of folks that are military vehicle collectors, they will use their vehicles during certain times of the year, and it would be an excellent opportunity for us to be able to invite them to come in here and display their vehicles, and we can put a display around, let's just say, a Willys Jeep.
Right.
So the concept in this space, as you can see right now, it's occupied by Mr. Irwin's collection, and that's going to be leaving this space.
So
very
these are
soon.
Ron's antique goodies, huh?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
Well, that's
And-
very nice of Ron to,
He is.
hook up veterans like that.
It is. It is. So as you can see It's a open stance, kind of almost looks like an airplane hangar, sort of. And our plan is to create exhibits in here that are all on wheels or on slides and glides so they can be moved around and be changeable. What you see at the Veterans Museum in 2020 will be probably different than what you're going to see in 2021. We're going to change things around, change it up, a reason for you to come back and see us time after time. We're also going to integrate a lot of other things in our exhibits. For an example, one of the things we have is a 42-foot mural that is a timeline of veterans from 1795 through 2016. And that's important because there are a lot of people nowadays that don't know whether the Civil War came first or Korean War.
Right.
And I'm not kidding you. People just don't know their history. So this gives people a perspective of what the timeline is for military history in our museum, and that's what we're going to use as our base. We will have...
Where did this mural come from? What's the origin of it?
Well, in 2014, the Veterans Museum came to me and said that they wanted to have a mural. They knew that I'm an artist, and they asked me to create a mural having to do with veterans issues. And so I said, okay. And I thought about it for about a month and thought about how it would be laid out. And I laid it out in 9 panels by time period. And I did paintings for the mural. I used photographs from our collection of what we have in our collection. And then I also integrated things that would work for our history in a box displays that we take around to the schools.
Yeah, I heard about that. Tell me more about the history in the box.
The History in a Box is a series of 5 different time period boxes. It was sponsored by the Paul G. Duke Foundation, and the time periods are Revolutionary War, War of 1812, American Civil War, World War I, World War II and Korea are in one box, and then Vietnam. And we're hoping to do more boxes of more modern time periods.
Right.
But
Keep
basically,
the timeline, right?
right. But basically, the boxes are about this high. They're about this wide, and you open them up, and inside is the uniform of a soldier, a reproduction firearm, and all the equipment that the soldier would have carried. And with that box, we take it out to schools, libraries, senior centers. It's very, very popular. We send a historic interpreter that does a presentation and talks about the box. And then we have things we pass around to whoever we're doing the presentation to. And most of the time, if an organization or a group decides to do the box, they'll do one and then they'll do the whole series.
Right.
So it's been very popular, but our History in a Box is one of the things that we love these overhead doors for, because we're going to be staging those in certain areas so we can just load them up into our vans and take them out.
Now, I'll tell you, Karen, I think with the garage doors in this space, it's an amazing vision.
It
And
is.
how much it will move into this other area, how much do you anticipate all this is going to cost to make this all work and make this happen?
The project is a $1.7 million project. That includes the purchase of the property as well as the creation of the exhibits. Our plan is to do all the exhibit construction, design, and execution here in-house. And with a lot of volunteers, with a lot of help from a lot of people. And we believe that that is a very modest amount to create a museum and relocate it with a 5-acre site and 4 buildings, but we think that it's very doable.
Right, and you have grant writers and stuff like that?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
We do.
What's this space going to be here?
Well, this is going to be the Hall of Heroes. Right now, it looks pretty rough. This is where they used to clean cars at the dealership. And so on the first Wednesday of every month, we have some It's a free event that we invite veterans to come to, and we have between 75 and 125 people that show up at that coffee every month.
And that's every first Wednesday.
First Wednesday of the month. And they get free coffee and donuts, and sometimes they get a free meal. It depends on if we have a sponsor. If we have a sponsor sponsoring free meals, then they'll get a free meal. If not, they just get donuts and coffee.
It's funny you said that because I saw that you just advertised one. You have one the 1st of July.
Right.
And it's got all kinds of hits on it. You might get overwhelmed.
Well,
You offer free food, you know.
that's true. Well, the plan is we will have free food, but we'll also still have donuts.
Oh
So
yeah.
The people
But
that
you'll
don't
be
get there.
happy to take donations on the first two, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And actually last year we had two events that we had over 200 people at our coffees. One was the chief of staff for the Dayton VA, which everybody wanted to talk to, and he was very good. And then the other one was a Navy man who landed an LST on Omaha Beach on D-Day.
Right.
98 years old, spoke for an hour and a half.
Wow.
So the coffees are not just coffee and donuts, we have a program,
Right.
and it's always over by about 11:30. So in here, we're gonna build false walls, and we're probably gonna retain the overhead door. We'll have a double man door right here so that veterans can park in the back of the site here and just come right in. There'll be tables here, tables here, tables here. The presenter will present up here with a screen. Lots of times sometimes they talk without a screen and without a PowerPoint, but most of the time people use PowerPoints.
Right.
And then we can open doors up that will be here, that will be fire doors, and we can accommodate many more people in the space.
Well, the actual Hall of Heroes, is it going to be more local veterans or, veterans of interest, but they're going to be individual veterans? Is that the idea?
We bring speakers in to speak about topics that we think veterans would be interested in.
Sure.
We bring in veterans themselves that tell stories. We had somebody here that was stationed in Antarctica last year, which was really cool. We've had, we get congressional updates from our local congressmen. They come in usually once a year. We have all different topics. It's fun trying to figure out what the topics are going to be, and they're always great attendees, and they're very interested in the topics. And it's really, the Veterans Coffee is a time when the veterans can talk to each other, and you know, there's a lot of camaraderie. We have veterans from all different time periods. I will admit that we don't have very many from the younger vets. We have World War II. There are very few of those right now, but World War II through Gulf War, we have a good representation. Some of the guys sit at the same table every month. Some of them move around. It just depends on what they want to do, you know.
Right. I had, in some of the work that we do, I had always thought, because I had a lot of folks that said, hey, I had my grandfather's flag, you know, it's in a triangle the way it was folded when they passed. And folks don't really know what to do with it. I always thought that it'd be cool to have a wall of those with their name placards on them and stuff. You know. But it's something to think about. What's next, James?
Well, the next room we have is, if you're gonna have a coffee, you have to have some place to serve the food from. So our concept up here is to have a catering kitchen in this room. And right now, this room is housing a lot of our donations that we've recently received.
So it's storage, but it's going to be a kitchen, right?
It's gonna be a catering kitchen eventually, yes.
Good.
We've gotten some furniture from the local library that's moving. We have a donation that actually has turned out to be kind of a really cool thing for us to get. Last year, we had a veteran. He actually came to our museum every single day that we were open since 2009. He would visit us.
What's his name?
His name was Paul Sarver. Excuse me, Paul Swaggart.
Swaggart.
Sorry.
Okay, Paul Swaggart.
Yes. Paul Swaggart would come and he'd always bring something. He'd donate something to us. And he'd come and he'd talk and then he'd leave. And in the last 5 years, he's been in and out of hospice. And in September, he came in and he donated his Marine K-bar knife.
Mm.
And when he did that, we knew that it was probably pretty serious. And that day he said to me, I'd like to donate my record collection. And I said, okay, well, tell me about your record collection. And he said, I've been collecting records since I was 10 years old. 10 years old. And I said, okay, how many records do you have in your collection? And he said 20,000. And I said, okay. And so, what we did was, looks like somebody's grabbing one here.
Yeah, this is the Mariners, When I Need You Most.
So we have 20,000 records here. And so what we're doing now, Paul did pass away, and what we're doing now is our volunteers are putting the records into a database, and we're pricing them based on the sales on the internet in the past. And we're getting ready to start posting these records for sale as a fundraiser. And that was Paul's
They are in excellent condition too.
that was Paul's desire. We thought that, maybe we just pick 2,000 records out of the pack and we'd sell those, and the rest we'd put in a garage sale and sell them for $1. Because they're all 78 records. And when we started pricing them, we realized that most of the records were anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece.
Right.
So, during the pandemic, when we can't do our fundraising that we had planned to do,
Right.
this summer, this has really been a gift. And we think of Paul a lot when we're working on these records.
Hmm.
So, yes.
Well, you never know. Maybe when you get this thing all together, a little spot that is his, Paul's
Yeah.
Kitchen or something.
Yeah. Well, he's a special guy. Special guy. We
Good.
miss him.
Excellent. What's next? What do we want to see next?
Okay, well, we're gonna walk through kind of an area here that right now is housing supplies, but, this area actually is gonna be the curatorial area. Right now, when people come in.
What is that? Is that where you put the exhibits before they go out?
Yeah, actually what happens is people will come in and they'll go into the Leave a Legacy area, and that's where they donate their items. They sign a deed of gift, which is a legal document turning their items over to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the items will be brought in here, and we have a database. Right now we're using Access database, and we take a picture of every item, and we can search by a lot of different fields. I'll give you an example. Somebody came in and said, I want to see my grandpa's helmet. Okay, when did he serve? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we can search it under helmet, we can search it under his grandfather's name, we can search it under the name of the person who donated it, or we can look under World War II helmets, if we knew that he was from World War II, served during World War II. So we have a lot of different ways we can search. And I have a true story. We had a woman that came to one of the coffees. She had donated her husband's uniform, and right after he passed away, and this was about 2 or 3 years after he had passed away, and she said, I'd like to see my husband's uniform. And in the middle of these coffees, you've got a lot of things going on.
Sure.
Our curator was able to go to the records. He could tell exactly where it was because we had various fields in the museum, and he found the uniform, and she was able to see her husband's uniform,
It's fantastic.
which
Was
was
it
really
World
great.
War II? What era was that?
It was post-World War II, actually.
Post-World War II.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, anyway, all the collection items we get in our collection that are donated would pass through this area here, and it won't look like this. It'll
Do you
be
plan
all
on having it
finished.
enclosed? Or?
This would be an enclosed area,
Right.
a clean area where you could come in, do the data entry. We would do the curatorial things. If it's going to be displayed and put up, we would frame it in here. So we'll be able to create some exhibits in here as well. So that's what this area will be used for, as well as some storage. We'll have flat files in here, all different types of things. So right now, it doesn't look like that, but with everybody's help, we'll turn it into what it needs to really look like. we're excited about that. So we've got drywall back here, you're just gonna have to kind of walk
Oh,
around.
we'll get around there.
Figure out, watch out for the nails over there.
All right.
Uh,
All right, so we head to the barns. Let's see the barns.
let's check those out.
And we'll check out the outside too. I thought the outside was very good.
Yeah. We've got some great things going on here. So, we're very excited because at our other location, we had a place where we could do a coffee, but we had no way to engage the public.
Right.
We had no place that we could do an event outside or invite people. We could invite them to the museum, but there was no place to really do things.
Right.
So here we're excited because we've got this 5-acre site. We can
Right.
have a car show up there.
Right.
We can, I think last time I saw you, I told you about this. This is chain link fence. We're going to retain that chain link fence, and we're going to create something called the Veterans Wall.
And it's gonna be
Veterans-
like banners and stuff, right? Or-
Yeah. Well, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to use that chain link fencing as a substrate, and we're going to attach to it an aluminum clad signboard
Yeah.
that is the type of things they'd use on railroad cars. And there'll be full-length photographs of veterans in uniform, either singly or with a group. And we're going to try to do as many time periods as we can. So when you drive by here and you're looking for the Veterans Museum, you just look over here and you'll see a big group of veterans, okay? We've got 10 spanses there of chain link fence. So that's going to be a lot of veterans. And the thing that's important about this is there's so many people, when they did away with the draft, a lot of people don't know veterans. They don't have any people in their family that have served in the military. And I think that something like the Veterans Wall will give them a chance to at least engage with veterans and get to know, or see what people look like that are veterans, who they are. It puts a face on them. They're not just some old guy. Veterans were young when most of them when they enlisted or they were drafted. This shows a picture of that, and I think it's really important because we don't see that.
I think you really hit it on the head there because World War I veterans, World War II veterans, Korean veterans, they were all different cultures.
Right.
And it's not like today. Today, the military is all professional. They all signed up. They all knew what they were doing. That wasn't always the case.
Right.
A lot of it, they get draft. We haven't had a draft for a long since Vietnam.
That's right.
And that's completely different. The veterans of the day are professional and
Right.
and there's not as many too, of course. But I wanted to ask you about this plot of land. This you got to be thrilled about this.
Yeah, we're really
You got
excited
grass
about
out there, green space.
Yes.
You're gonna have your own Veterans Memorial Park out here.
Right, exactly. The space is, it goes from the tree line here on the right, next to the building here,
Mm-hmm.
to the low bushes here in the back. Not the far tree line, but
To the bushes.
yes, to the bushes.
And you plan on developing that, of course.
Right. We've got some great ideas about what we'd like to do back here. Also, then the property then goes to these other set of bushes here on the left. Now, right now, we have a kind of an unkept field here. I've got a farmer friend of mine's coming in named Phil Neal, and he's going to go through the field, cut it all, and then rake it.
Got bush hog, huh?
Yep, he's gonna bush hog it, he's gonna rake it, and then we can start thinking about how we want to develop it. There is a retention pond there where some of those trees are growing. Those trees may go away. And our thoughts are that we'll have kind of a memorial area there. We'll have spaces here where we could do concerts and other types of things. And then we were thinking about some other things for the future back here behind the blue building.
Yeah, in the
But that
future,
kind
you
of-
could do the gazebos, whatever you want. Picnic
Yeah,
house.
lots of room. Also, immediately, once that's mowed, we'd love to do like some timeline military events where we can have reenactors come in. And we think that it's really going to be great. So we're really excited about it.
Okay.
This building here, we call this the Blue Building. This is a building right now that's going to be leased And it's actually going to be leased for about 2 years. And so in the future we'll have access to using that, but right now that'll be income generator, which is great. And then let's go over here to this barn.
Yeah, let's go to the barn. We want to see the barn.
Yes, the barn.
You're excited about the barns, aren't you? You got
Yeah.
two, right?
Yeah, we've
This
got
one?
two.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the other one too.
All right.
This one's kind of cool. Yeah, push that across.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so, the barn. So, this is the barn that actually houses one of our parade floats right here.
Now, this float's going to be in the parade, right?
Yes, it is.
4th of July.
Yes, it will.
Are you going to be on this one, or where are you going to be?
No, I'm going to be helping organize the parade. I won't be in the parade, but I think just about everybody else will.
Who's going to be on this float?
We are featuring Korean War veterans this year, and there are going to be 6 Korean War veterans on this float.
Awesome.
So we're really excited about that.
Awesome.
This barn, as I was saying, you know, we see it as a real good source for revenue generation. Right now, there's some things in here that we need to kind of move around, but do you remember I was talking to you about the history in a boxes?
Yeah.
So the concept for that is that we want to do something called the Veterans Drive-Through Museum, where we'll open this far door here. Doors are about 15 feet wide, and as I said, the barns are about 140 feet long, and we will place 3 of our History in a Box displays in here, and people will drive up in their cars. They won't get out of their cars. They'll stay in their cars, and they'll come up and pull up to the first display. They'll hear a 3-minute talk on, the first one would be Revolutionary War, War of 1812. 3 minutes from the interpreter, who most likely will be dressed in period clothes as well.
So this would be like a drive-through museum.
Right. And then they'll have a minute to ask questions. Then they'll move on to the next time period, which would be Civil War. And then the next period would be World War I. Then they'll drive out of here and they'll go back there behind our main building. And there I'm hoping to have a military vehicle owner and their vehicle. And they'll get another talk about the military vehicle. And then they'll move into the next barn, and they're going to drive through there, and they'll see 2 more displays of History in a Box, and the last one will be a display of what our vision is for the site and our future projects. And there'll also be a donation bucket.
Yeah, of course.
So,
And you can actually, of course, a donation bucket, but you can actually hang things in the rafter too, couldn't you?
right,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
right.
So let's act like we're driving and going to this other barn.
Okay,
I love the idea, Karen. I think
Okay.
that's a great idea.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah, because in their little drive-through, they would be able to see your park as well. You could
Grassy
have,
area.
whatever, whatever you'd like out here
Right.
as they're driving. This could be part of the tour, huh?
Yeah, and we might, we know some reenactors. We might get some of them to set up here too.
Yeah.
So we think it'll be great, specifically with this coronavirus thing. It's something that people can do. There are still a lot of people that are not really going out and about,
Yeah.
that have compromised immune systems.
Right. And they could stay in their own
So
car.
they-
It's a great idea.
Yeah, and the good news is the health department thought it was a great idea.
Right.
So-
Even without, because eventually the virus is going to go away.
Right.
Even without that, there might be some veterans and some folks that don't get around so well
Right.
that would rather, stay in their car
Right.
and see the stuff. So that's a
Exactly.
very interesting concept here.
Yes, it is. And, we've got enough room that when we do special events, eventually we kind of envision maybe special days where we'll just have, maybe we'll have a World War II weekend. I'm just going to use that as an example.
Right.
We'll invite a lot of World War II reenactors, any World War II veterans that would like to come, or sons, or daughters, or granddaughters, or
Yeah.
great-granddaughters of World War II veterans.
And of course, you'd have these during times like, the birthday of D-Day and stuff like that, depending on,
Right.
what the date is. Will this door open here?
Well, it's not
We gotta go this
but
way?
the other end is.
Okay. But they'll drive through here, right?
Let's drive right through here.
Come through this
this is the area where that door is, where we're going to have the catering kitchen. We're going
Right.
to have kind of a
So the kitchen's right through this door here, right?
Yeah, we'll have a pass-through there where people can get refreshments out of there as well. And back there on the corner is where the Veterans Hall of Heroes will be, so our vets can park all the way down here across the back. They don't have to walk through the museum unless they want to, so that'll be good. So this building right now,
Going through this door here?
actually I opened the front door.
Okay,
here,
we'll
so
go.
we'll just go in the front door here.
This is actually going to be the exit for your
Yes, it will.
drive-through tour, huh?
It will.
All right.
We're, we're preparing this right now for our coffee we're going to have on July 1st.
Oh, there's another float.
Another float.
Oh, and this is where you're going to have your coffee Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, as you can see, this is a great idea for...
There you go, folks. A little sneak peek of the parade. You still want to watch it, though, or come.
The eagle has landed.
The eagle has landed.
He's quite a work of art, that's for sure. This was done by John Patton, who is a veteran, and Mr. Patton is going to ride on this parade float, and he's usually driving these floats, and he's been making floats for like 60 years.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I think he said he's ever ridden on a float. So he's going to be riding, and all his grandchildren or great-grandchildren will be riding, and his children are going to be walking.
Fantastic.
So we're honoring John because he's a veteran and because he
What's
creates
up? What's
these
in
beautiful floats.
what area was he?
I believe it was Korean War. I believe. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Is he going to be in uniform, or are you just going to be?
I don't think
Hot that day.
it's going to be hot. I don't think he's going to be in uniform, but he's going to be on the float, so we're excited about that.
And so this is the area that's going to be for coffee.
Right,
You've already been using this a while until you get things situated.
right.
But this is the other part of the drive-through, right?
Correct. They would drive through here. The two exhibits would be down there on the left-hand side, and the last exhibit would be right about here. And then they drive out and get back on 25A and go wherever they're going. Of course, once the museum is open, there'd be the capability of going into the museum. But we're projecting that we'll be opening the museum at the very latest. We'll have a grand opening on Veterans Day, but we're projecting probably sometime in October. Because it takes a long time to get everything together
Sure.
and get it all.
Just getting it moved, huh?
Get it moved, make sure, you want to make sure everything stays together, and it's a safe move, and nothing's damaged. We have a lot of fragile items, and, we're doing this with volunteers, so we're.
They're all
doing it
volunteers,
carefully.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are all volunteers. So,
All right. Well, tell everyone, please, how they can help.
okay.
Tell
well,
everyone
okay.
how you can help these folks. They're doing a great
You can
job.
help us by going to the Troy Foundation website and click the donation button on the right-hand side of the screen. And when you click that, you'll be able to select where you'd like to make a donation to. And you would select Miami Valley Veterans Museum and just fill out the form. And when you fill out the form, you can make a donation to our museum. Now, we'd certainly welcome you to come here and make a donation in person, but many people find that using the Veterans Museum link on the Troy Foundation website is the best and easiest way for them to do that. But definitely do that. And there's one other thing we haven't talked about.
What? What is that?
And that is, I want everybody to know that this is not a Troy museum or a Miami County museum. We serve 7 counties.
I was going to get to that.
7 counties. We serve Miami, Darke, Shelby, Champaign, Clark, Greene, and Montgomery counties. And we have donors that come from all those areas. And the other reason we have really looked at that as our locations that we serve is we take our History in a Box programs out to those locations, and we also appear at special events with that, and also we have a speakers bureau too, where you can call up if you need a speaker. You can have one of our speakers come out, either with History in a Box or without. You know, so we do serve all those locations, and you know, we really truly do want to honor, perpetuate the legacy of Miami Valley veterans. That's our mission.
And let me caveat that too, that what they're doing here is for the whole district, what veterans organizations would call third district. I know the third district VFW is going to support this as much as we can. David Jones is the president of the board for the Miami Valley Veterans Museum, and he's a past third district American Legion commander. So I know the veterans organizations, you know, like she said, although it's located in Troy, it's for the Miami Valley. So we ask anybody that can to please help them out. Maybe you don't have the money. Maybe come help volunteer. They've got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to move. And you're actually, they're still looking for volunteers for the 4th of July parade.
Yes.
Or if you want to be in it, reach out to them. Anything else, Karen? You have the last word.
I don't think I have anything else. www.miamivalleyveteransmuseum.org. You can learn more. You can also go to our Facebook page. You can come down and check us out. If you see cars out here, we're not here every single day, but we're getting to the point where we're getting close. And we would love to come and see you. We would love to accept your donations. If you have donations of items you'd like to bring in, we'd love to accept those and honor the veteran that those items belong to. So,
Thank you very much, Karen. I appreciate it for giving us a tour here.
Sure.
Please support them with whatever you can. Thank you all. This is the Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library. We're on mission. We're going to be on mission all summer, showing you all these great things. But help these folks out. Next time that we should be on, we'll be live at the 4th of July parade with Denny O's drone and everything. Big to-do. If you can't come to Troy and watch it downtown, watch it on our Facebook page. Thanks.